I'm David Murphy at Business of Apps, and I'm speaking today with Ramesh Ramalingam, who is VP of Product at SmartNews. Ramesh, good day to you, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you, David. Good afternoon to you. It's good morning here in Los Angeles. Nice to talk with you. Nice to meet you, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Likewise. So let's just kick off with a bit of background, if we could, please, Ramesh. Could you just tell us a little bit about SmartNews, what type of app it is, how long's it been around, how many users, all that good stuff?
Smart News is actually a news discovery and aggregator app. We have that application available on both iOS and Android. Our main purpose is to give users like a trusted information from a range of publishers. It is all about trustworthy publishers. We wanted to offer it in a personalized experience. Smart News was founded in 2012. It's based in Japan, and we first launched the app in Japanese market. We have roughly about like a 24 million MAUs, and these users come back almost on a daily basis to us. And in US, we have about 4 million MAUs. Overall, from our app perspective, users have downloaded like a 50 million people are actively using our product. What is interesting about Smart News is it's not about the scale. We're talking about 50 million, but it's more about the user engagement. Our users spend on an average 20 minutes in our product, which is very high, and it's a strong engagement from a news platform perspective. Part of the reason we think it's happening is users are coming here with the intent that they wanted to get trusted news, and they wanted to get the information from a journalistic sources, but not like a social media where it is all sourced through a social feed and user generated content. So that's what makes Smart News to be more powerful, because we offer breadth and personalization. We offer the major news stories. It's not only from a news stories perspective, we also let the users follow their interest. And whether it's a hobbies or interest or a publisher they can follow. We offer about like a 850 hobbies in Japan and 550 like of interest in US. Basically, that covers from everything from knitting to horse racing to politics, anything that you're interested, it's always available.
Good stuff. And what would you say makes Smart News different?
Three aspects of it, Smarties is different. Number one is we are publishing the news from a trusted journalist, which is different than what you think about a user-generated content that you from a news platform elsewhere. The second one that you see, the users that are coming in are very committed users, actively engaged. That means they are coming here with the intent that they wanted to consume news. What we have seen from our research is that 79% of the users, when they use Smart News, they don't get distracted with any other media, whether it's a TV or some other like a desktop and other things that they do. That makes it that it's very unique for them with a very high focused intention that they come to us and they keep coming every day to us.
So it sounds like a great concept, and you're getting lots of engagement from your users. But how do you monetize the app?
We have two sources of monetization. The primary one is advertising. The second one is we also offer a subscription called Smart News Plus in Japan. That offers like news articles from premium partners. Let me talk more about our advertising because that is our major source of revenue. We do two ways. One is we have our own native advertising platform, and we offer both brand advertising and performance advertising for the marketers. In addition, we also use a third-party programmatic advertising where it makes sense in the sense that it has to fit in the user experience and also from a relevancy perspective. But since you're talking about advertising, the reason our advertising is different is that it's not that we only sell, we provide a very intent focused environment. That means the attention quality matters to the advertisers. I think I talked about a little bit earlier that our users spend like roughly 20 minutes with our app. And the second thing is they're not distracted by any other news media. That means they are very actively seeking information which is different than the social media platform that offers news content. The how this translates to from an advertiser perspective is They are very well engaged. That means they can recall the ads that they're seeing, whether the interest or favorability or purchase intent, which from our research has shown that the users are very well engaged with advertising that they see. Then the second one is the context. We also use a contextual platform to make sure that the ads that we offer is relevant to the content and to the user. We don't rely on invasive tracking across the web like other platforms do. What we built is a more like a privacy first brand safe environment, which is very highly attractive to the advertisers. Then the third one is about our audience. Our audience are very well engaged and they're also like a higher income demographic. You can think of like an adults like a 30, 35 plus. That means these are the people that are making all the purchasing decisions. And that means any message that you sell, any product that you want to advertise, it's going to have a much more influence on the purchase decision and what they do. So I think that one way I would point out from our advertising perspective is our audience are well engaged. Our we offer like a privacy safe and brand safe environment, and our audience is a very highly attractive, engaging audience that's very helpful for advertising.
Good stuff. So let's just talk about scaling the app now and taking it from a region, Japan, where it was well established, great awareness, heavy usage, to the US, where you were relatively unknown. So, how did that affect the design of the app, the UX, UI, how you marketed it, all that sort of stuff?
The great question, David. Compared to any other companies, right? SmartNews is very unique. Our product was first built in Japan. And typically, the Japanese companies take an approach that either they're very successful in Japan, they stay within Japan, or they take the product to the next market only when the first product is very successful in their market, local market. Our founders are much more mission focused. They wanted to deliver like trusted information to everyone that needed. Given that they initiated the product in US like 2 years after 2 years after founding Smart News. So the difference between the two products is the core mission of Smart News remains the same. We use trusted journalistic resources. We have a broad publisher relationship. I think this is very important for us because a publisher relationship means we have a revenue share model with our publishers. So we wanted the journalism to thrive, and we wanted to offer the content in a very discoverable way to the users. But there's also a difference between the Japanese users and the US users. Japanese users are used to very high density information experience. They are also very interested in using like transactional features like coupons that drive daily engagement, which is what we offer in our product. US users tend to prefer much more of cleaner white space, more streamlined experience. So we took those differences into account and then we built the product in a different flavor. The core technology, everything remains the same, but the product looks different when you use it in Japan versus US. And the second part is we also wanted to understand how the users are consuming the news differently. Based on that, we also partnered with the local news providers in the US, and that helped us to make sure that the news app is relevant to the American users. Smart News is the number one news app in Japan. It's a well-recognized brand. When we came to the US, it's a big population and a bigger country. Our name is not well recognized, so we need to do a lot of credibility from ground up, and then we had to build a lot of partnership. And the user acquisition is a little bit different in US compared to how we do in Japan. I think net of it, I would say that we didn't take the Japanese app and plugged it into US. We made sure that it is customized to the user preferences in in US and it's built for American users.
And how does it work in terms of product development? Is that centralized or decentralized?
It's I would say it's both because SmartNews originated in Japan. Most of our core technology, core platform teams are based in Japan. That means we try to maintain the core development like a roadmap, and the technical expertise is mostly concentrated in Japan. At the same time, as I was talking about in the previous question to you, the user behavior is different. So we have teams that are based locally in US and Japan that are focused more closely with the users and the consumers and the publishers and the advertisers. So I would say like we are more like largely centralized from a market perspective. We are decentralized. Uh, this way, we can build a platform globally that's scalable, but at the same time, the experience, right, it's locally relevant to the market that we are catering to.
Now, there's a lot of mistrust of news media these days, all the fake news propagated by social platforms. That comes with concerns about brand safety, where companies wonder what sort of content their ads going to appear next to. So, how have you combated that issue?
Advertisers worry about brand safety. They wanted to make sure their advertisements are in the most trusted content. Given that, I think the mistrust in the news media will play a role in it. The only difference from SmartNews perspective is our the news that we publish is from a trusted journalist, and these are like a major publications, and these are built around professional journalism, right? Given that the ads that are getting shown are right next to this high quality content, that means that this is going to be the ads are going to be in a trusted brand safety environment. Then the second one is that we also use like an algorithmic ranking and editorial signals. They prioritize the quality and the relevance not only for our content but also for the ads to make sure they gel well together. Then the third aspect we wanted to think about it, we also invest in a third party measurement and validation. With that, we were able to prove that the key brand metrics that the advertisers care about, like a brand recall, purchase intent, and favorability, they rate very high when ads are shown with the Smart News app. So what I would say was our the news sources are trusted. We offer a brand safety environment. We use first party data. So we are not just a walled garden. We are also backed by measurable outcome by working with the third party companies. With all those things, you can think that from an advertiser perspective, yes, they do care about the reach, but trust is the most important aspect for it. And that's where smart news is going to thrive the most because they're engaging with an intent-driven users, and we offer the brand safety context. So their ads are going to be always shown against the content that is like the professional journalists are creating every day.
Good stuff. And you've talked about how engaged your users are when they're in the app. Are they receptive to advertising, or are they fully focused on digesting the news?
The users are coming to our app because they wanted to get news from different sources. They come with an intent that they wanted to consume news. I don't want it. I don't want it to leave a intent that they come here to look for the ads. But what we're trying to do is we show the ads in this native environment right next to the content, and it's also most relevant to the content that they consume. So the advertising tends to feel more naturally to them. It's integrated in their experience. Um, uh, as long as it's relevant to what their interests are, the advertising tend to fit naturally for them. At the same time, it's about a careful balance. We know that the users come here for the news content, and we try to make sure that the advertising that we offer is relevant to them, and we try to offer as fewer of the ads as possible, and that's what works for us.
And how do you measure success, Ramesh? Is it all about numbers of users, or are there other metrics that you look towards?
Like any consumer product, we do think about the users. You can think of the MAUs, monthly active users, and the daily active users are the key metric that we measure. But at the same time, as I was explaining about smart news, it's more the users come in to consume trusted content. So we wanted to make sure that we are offering consistent value to the users. So the engagement quality matters to us. The engagement quality, the way we measure it is the time spent, how many times do the users return to the app, and how many articles do they consume every session that they come in. Like any other mobile app, we also care about the retention of the users. As long as we serve the purpose of trying to offer them the trusted content that is of use to them, they would keep coming back. News is one of those. It's like typical news users would want to consume the news on a daily basis. So we look for like a signals, such as how often do they come, and the second part we look into it also the engagement signals. As we offer like 20 articles or 100 articles, we want to see how many times do they deeply engage with the articles. Like click through rate of the articles and how much time that they spend matters to us. So I would say the key metrics are MAU, DAU, time spent, session depth, and then their interaction with the content. All of those things are like a North Star for us as we look at the long-term engagement of our users.
Good stuff. Well, Ramesh, it's been absolutely fascinating talking to you. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you, David. It's a great pleasure to meet with you, and thank you for taking time.
So that's it for this interview with Ramesh Ramalingam, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again very soon.